Hi, Randy. I don't know. She says it's still rough for her, but she's as usual. We see her. We see her. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's a wonderful event. Oh, in a lot of ways, it is a wonderful event. Eddie Focal is trading again. So it is a wonderful event from the sense of people can trade the shares that they own, right? So I cannot frame that specific thing badly. So yeah. Mm-hmm. 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 Yes, sir. Yeah, yeah, you're not getting any benefits of a listed company while suspended. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Me neither. So it's funny. A large part of the message I sent you earlier about just being able to view the market properly was thing there from that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Traded a lot. It's funny. I'm looking at the graph and it's long line nothing for the last 6 months. Give me a year to be, yeah, long line nothing for the last 6 months, and then today you see this there's a this line will jump. I'm looking at the graph for Eddie Focal and I see this long line of nothing for the last 6 months, and then you see the jump. Yeah, it's 22 cents. You traded up a good amount. Yeah, good amount of trading today. Fair. Mm-hmm. no 20s in anything there. Uh, I believe so, yes. I believe it did halt up. Mm-hmm. The return. Yeah, I wouldn't call it. eh, I wouldn't call it triumph, but a return. Yes, sir. I mean, so one for everything on the market, eh? Mm. Yes, that was also my thing. That they said this is the week of the young CEO. Yeah, and the equity listing, not listing. The equity IPO still in it. Tyrone of a lot, seem to happen a lot of activity. Uh, Results out, and Eddie Focal back with results that were, well, we should have gotten be posted. So yeah, we still have September out though. Yeah, we still have September out, but we got up to June. So hoping to get September soon as possible. Although we still late, we, as you said, we are late on it. So it's yeah, hopeful sign. In every say lost I was gonna say lost in everything because I'm looking behind, I'm looking back like at the graph, not the graph, the results, and 3 months, 6 months, 6 months audited losses, and in this first 3 months we're getting something good happening. Yeah, no MDNA, which is, yeah, I saw somebody say that. I saw somebody say that within a week. I it's I don't know, you don't usually pay man, but for some, the truth is for any folk I would want to see MDNA. I would definitely want to see them there. Not that thing there. Else, give me some talking. You've been
Well,
quiet for so long.
no, no, no. I haven't been quiet, you know. I don't know if
No, no,
maybe
no,
not.
not you. I mean the company.
Oh,
I'm not usually the biggest care of the MDNA. I mean, I want it in there as because regulatory and whatever. And I do some. I want when I read the MDA every now and then. I like when them say something that is more than so, right? Because very
mhm.
often it's so, not much. So now, when Eddie Focal comes back after such a long time, I definitely want to see an MDNA. I want to see
Ah,
say
you
something.
want you want to know what's happening there? Yeah, well,
Yeah, because there's a lot.
world
Yeah,
does.
there's a lot that's happening for them as a company. Like we see the write-offs, see the image up, but like I can look at and
Hmm.
know what's in there. But I want explanations. I want, especially on the basis of when I hear from you. We have profit
Yeah,
finally. Where that come from? More than,
yeah.
and more than just say, oh, okay, administrative expenses are way down. I want, give me more than that. And more than just me being able to read it. What happened there? Yeah.
Mm.
Why actually this, they are where they are now and they weren't before. And yeah, that's what I want to see.
Yeah, well, there's a whole heap of a lot more questions and answers.
And as usual, I don't want, again, you know how much I value what call it again, the AGMs. Not much.
Mhm.
Right? And I feel like I should, I should, it's one of the things you should value, right? I should feel like if I go to an AGM
Mhm.
or I see something wrong with AGM, then it's worthwhile. But that's not the case most times. I
True.
So I don't want it to be know that I feel like I need to have an AGM to ask these questions. So that to me should feel like a waste of an AGM question. Why administrative expenses so down? Like, yeah,
Yeah,
that's not the one thing I want. That's not the thing I want to go to an agent to ask.
yeah, yeah. I shout out to Cygnus still again.
Mm-hmm.
Like
For
that.
the
That's
best
along the
ND,
lines of
for having a
why.
useful MDNA. Yeah.
Correct, 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 correct. The problem is when you can't be honest in these things.
Mm-hmm.
You try to yeah, if you feel like you can't be honest in the things, so you try to hide stuff, or
Mm-hmm.
you're afraid of saying the bad,
Mm-hmm.
or you want to
That's like
pretend
I
the
find
bad.
that to be such a wasted scenario, in the sense of I feel like companies should just realize they're listed. You're a company. You are this, right?
Uh-huh.
It's good, but our ugly, was tell me what go on. you should not be courting me as it should be like as much as you should be courting me as a shareholder, meaning, I want to be like your courtship of me as a shareholder shouldn't be on the basis of, oh, I'm trying to look good. It should be, I'm good enough for you to see something here, right? So
Yeah.
from just what I present should be good. It shouldn't be, yo, things look bad, but I can make them look good. Like, what are you doing? What's that actually supposed to do for me?
Mm.
Like at best, it's like no, not just no. I really can't see like because you're listed, you already have a shareholder base. It solve a lot of problems. The things that it seems like you're trying to solve have
Mm-hmm.
already been solved just by being here. On the
Mm.
base, and when I say solve, I mean you want a shareholder base. You want people. You want people interested in whatever. So okay, we're here. We have a
Yeah.
share. You have shareholders, a listed company. All right. Why you feel like you need to pretty it up? I mean, things probably are bad. What are pretty up exactly? Like, what are you trying to accomplish from that? Is a shame game thing? What exactly are accomplishing by you looking better than you actually are? And not better than you actually, yeah, that's better than you actually are. Yeah, it's actually look so good.
I don't
So
know.
what? It's what you're doing here.
I
Why
think
do
maybe.
companies do that? It feels like a shame game more than a practical thing.
Yeah. I think
Because how
it's.
often we've seen the things are bad, I present it to you, this is the plan,
Mhm.
and it actually works out really well. It actually is a good thing. That's so common as a situation, don't it?
I
Not
think.
not 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 necessarily, and I don't mean like percentage, right? It's like, oh, it's like, like this is most like like it's on
Yeah. No.
in
No. No. I get you. I get you. It's like in
but
most
not, it's
most
not
of the
relative. It's a thing that happens on a fairly
on a large scale. Yeah.
common
Yeah.
basis. People do it happen more than once, and it's worked out.
I think every rebuilding, every real rebuilding success story
Mm-hmm. Starts from
actually
acknowledgement. Yo,
starts from
things
that
are not great
acknowledgement
right
and
now.
honesty. Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's not from one party, right? Other times maybe
Mm-hmm.
another party who has
Mm-hmm.
more sense or more
Or
grasp
more
of the
interest.
situation or more
Yep. Yep.
ability comes in and then they fix it and then when you come in at that point, it behooves you to give that honesty because
Mm-hmm.
that's like the basis on which you build the future successes. Yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
especially in the market where you can't. Well, I don't know. I was going to say you can't trick investors. I don't know. Maybe
It feels like I wouldn't say that at all.
you can't trick them. Or you can't trick them. I
You
don't know.
can't.
That's
Yeah,
a
yeah,
good
okay, I get
question.
what
You
you're
can't trick
saying.
them longer.
You
You can
can't
trick them
exactly.
today.
It only goes so far. Reality is the share price will reflect it someday.
Hmm.
So what
Yeah,
you
yeah.
start and how often this like all right is if even if even it's a situation where it feels like you're stalling it, right? Okay, I don't want thing there, which I don't think is necessarily good. Not necessarily, I don't think it's good, but
What's that?
what was it's the stalling. It's all right. You say you can't treat them for long, so you're tricking them for a time, right? So what's what's the plan? Hit me like, okay, you trick me, and then eventually you try, make everything look nice for a while, and then eventually you get to the point of you looking good. Is that like you know what I mean? Like, have you seen that
That-
where treat
That's
me
a
for
good
long enough,
question.
and then somehow, some way, okay, everything good, everything work out, man. We're all cool now.
It's a good question.
I
Has
can't think
anybody?
of a situation where as you say, the recovery ones I can think of are, yo, things look bad, let's get better. Look at
Yeah,
E.
yeah. Who has tricked and it's worked out in my view. That's a
And to
very
be clear,
good.
it's not any focal thing. This is a general market commentary. Like
Oh
it's
yeah,
not.
yeah, yeah. I think
Yeah,
emoji.
yeah, yeah.
I was even thinking of them.
Yeah. I know, yeah, I know, but you know the thing, though. And we have listeners, not just us.
Yeah, that's actually a good. I don't know. Maybe Alyssa can jump on. Alyssa can jump on and tell us what you feel. Send a speaking request on Twitter. Um, and we will unmute and talk about it. That's a very good point. I look into the companies and thinking about it. Key was bad, but I don't know if they were. I mean, yeah, you don't present the worst. There's no question about what you presented.
As you say, it's not necessarily that thing there. It's not necessarily that it's coming from the same place every time. It can be somebody else's seat, and or you reach a certain point where somebody like GK comes in and we have and then a certain talk from
Hmm.
them becomes different.
Hmm.
But I don't think Key. I can't think of Key as a tricking either situation either.
No, they're
I
talking.
can't remember it. It seems like yeah, they were talking when things were bad about it being bad. Maybe
Well, I
not in
don't
the
know.
oh
I
my
don't know
gosh
if
things are mash up, but
I don't know if they were that open about it then, though. I mean,
I
not they were
wouldn't
that
say
open. They
it.
kind of did the whole
They
pretense
they
thing.
were open. They were just the it was the let me give them the usual. They let me not say much in the MDNAs. Let me just tell you the
Yeah, yeah.
financials.
Let me try and avoid the whole insurance, the capital point.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know, because there's a kind of avoidance. Where's the line then? Where's the line between like
I mean, my line
the
is I don't
avoidance
want any
of the,
avoidance at all.
huh?
I don't want any avoidance at all.
True, true, but not
Me,
everybody is like
I
that.
say I don't want to. I don't. I mean, I don't want it to. So I understand you not making it sound ugly. I don't want it is that oh boy things are bad,
Hmm.
and continuously yeah tell me where the good is and whatever. But if there's not much good to say,
Hmm.
then tell me that and tell me what we're doing.
That's a good point. But I find that most
And it's a part of the.
companies don't do that. They don't say it. They won't do that, and they also don't. They also don't. I think maybe most of them don't know. And maybe the newer you are to the market too, is the less you know how much strength there is in that.
Mm-hmm,
Like they're like, so if you come to the market, a lot of people have that idea in their mind that they build for themselves early to like the stock market is
mm-hmm,
perfect and only the
mm-hmm,
best of companies should ever be there
mm-hmm.
and they should only
Ah,
ever have the
I was going there in a way.
greatest
Yes.
growth. Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
that as a lot of companies come to the market with that, and you hear it in the CEOs. We joked about it with like the
You
R.A.
hear to the
Williams.
investors. Think
You
about
hear
it,
with
investors. So you
investors,
hear, oh,
and it's
how can
usually
nothing be listed?
exactly, how
And now
can
you
this
go
be
so.
listed? You're like, no, it's okay for it to be bad and listed. It's bad anyway. It being listed is
Mm-hmm,
probably better than it not being listed because worst case scenario, somebody better can come along.
mm-hmm,
As I always say,
mm-hmm,
listed companies are very, very hard thing to kill.
mm-hmm.
Um,
Also, something going along that line is also something I hear with the general. This could have been American. This happens in American markets.
yeah,
They give you more information, but
but
they
it
also
happens same way.
they also are very much more creative in not telling you what's bad.
They solidify an entire reporting structure outside of the official reporting structure.
So
Yeah.
it's not exactly. It's not that boy. I know of this much better system narration. It's just different. They do it in different ways.
You
Do
know,
whatever you
everybody
do
look to
in a way.
foreign as
Yeah.
being better regardless of reality. Yeah.
Then that's why they never actually
Going back
check
to going back
it.
except for chicken. Going back to that,
Oh, never said that. I never actually checking.
yeah, that like who I thinking about Spurtree.
Mm-hmm.
Like the CEO of Spurtree has done the most amazing dance around mentioning Aki for for
Mm-hmm.
the last few
Yeah,
maybe
yeah,
weeks
yeah.
since Melissa.
This look what I was saying last week around the reaping or whatever. I hear it back from
Hmm.
like so I see people in the group and they mention the grace meeting and whatever and some mentions of it. And yet the thing what I said was there, but
Well,
then
hold
also
on,
but
just to cut on
also
that point.
mm-hmm,
Cut on that point. GK spoke about Aki and the
mm-hmm,
devastation to it, not
mm-hmm.
Spurtree. I mean, granted, Spurtree is GK in some ways, but Spurtree themselves
Yeah, yeah.
dodged,
Yep.
yeah, played dandy
Your
shandy with the
parent
mention
company
of
telling me
Aki.
it's different. Not your parent company, but the bigger group that owns a large piece are telling me it's not you telling me.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, because you avoid the mention of it. Which so is that tricking or is that I don't know glossing over? So window dressing. Well, yeah,
Boy,
maybe like
I would
somebody
say
like
somewhere in between, but I lean more towards the former because at the end of the day, if I'm a Spurs again, we are us. We pay attention to the market a lot in a way that other people don't.
Mhm.
Suppose you're a Spurs shareholder and you're not a GK shareholder, so you only did just look what you have going, what was going on with Spurs when you're so your company telling you, and you never hear from GK, and you read the report and the forward-looking statement is beautiful.
Mm, that's true. You read the newspaper articles and you hear, oh, we're great. We had how many weeks of inventory? Inventory is what's good for us, which is true. It's not a lie,
Mhm.
right? But like your
But the
companies
inventory come
lie,
from somewhere, right?
CEOs lie.
It's the 'cause again that sounds nice. We were saying last week. Oh, they
Uh-huh.
have stock because buried at a different time, so I expect that certain things are. But and even said it around it. I think they said it as part of what they're going to be doing forward because we have a hurricane every year, very likely. There's a possibility of a hurricane every year, or
Mhm.
at least one every year. So that should be no works of. So yeah, they even spoke about what they're going to be doing and whatever. So they've done it,
Mhm.
but the hurricane still hit. If you have things on a tree, you have inventory for where you read before, but where the next that inventory will come from? That will come from somewhere. If that's damaged, then they either source it somewhere else or hope and pray that the tree them
Workout.
everything the tree them work out some way somehow. That's a risk. That's a problem.
It's a
That
massive risk. Yeah.
is in front of us. You can't be telling me. So when you get telling about it, when it work out or it don't work
Yes.
out.
So that has always been the MO, right? That's always been the
Mm-hmm.
MO. I say it after I fix it, assuming I can fix it, and then and when it
It's like
blows up and blows up and I
school.
can't fix it, I don't.
You know what to do homework, but teaching about ask for it today, so you have time.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
She not
That's a
ask me now. Say
yeah, yeah,
hope the
exactly.
prefect knows something.
Yeah, yeah. And then you vex if the prefect does say something, or you
Yeah,
vex if
man.
somebody else does the homework and pick it
Yeah.
up. Um, that's a Jamaican thing. That's a very Jamaican thing. Yeah, but and so you vex with the person who, as a result of what they're seeing, causes your lack thereof to reflect, and you hate them instead of
Mm-hmm.
what you should do. Yeah, I
Right.
wonder about that. The spiritual Aki thing is a great example of that,
Mm-hmm.
where I wonder why
Because then
they
how
don't.
how do I know that shareholder properly manage that risk if I don't hear about it, or if you don't, or say I hear about it here? How can I also level I can measure it and my company has never tell me about it.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Because you, yeah,
Yeah.
that's
So.
true. That's true. That's true. 'Cause also, you're not your voice isn't part of it,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a strong bit of power, I think, in your voice being responding and being part of the conversation in the direct way, not the indirect way, right? And yo,
Mm-hmm.
it happens at all levels. That's why, I mean, from years before, I have that little joke. There's always little inside jokes around how you don't get they're not going to give you the terrible full year until the Q1, until I have a better Q1, right? Because I'm
Mm-hmm.
stupid. So I'm not going to realize the $100 million loss because you tell me about a $10 million profit
Mm-hmm.
in Q1. We're trying to
Mm-hmm.
manage the headlines, but why also? Because most of the
But
people
yeah,
that do this
what
don't care about
to
share
what
price.
end?
I don't have
To
to.
what end, bro?
Yeah, I don't
What does
know.
this do?
I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you. But I'm happy that at least for us and for us investors, you can sit through it, you can see around it, and it's great. And
Mm-hmm.
there's also the other side of it, right? Where if it's the other side of pushing back on the faking versus where it might even change narratives because what we consider to be good might
Mm-hmm.
shift, right?
Mm-hmm.
Remember when we were starting, we always joke about how real profit is spoken about, you know? Like what's
Mm-hmm.
real profit? Meaning like
Yeah.
cap gains.
What accepted? Yeah. So it's the that money not real. It's only real estate revaluation or
Exactly.
something.
Yeah, exactly.
Want some cash from
I
the
always joke
sell
ab-
sell bag juice and bag juice after sell,
I always joke
and
about that.
that's where the money must come from.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And then I always joke about how in some places it's accepted and in other places it's not.
Yeah,
And
it's
not
flip flop.
yeah, and
It's
not that there
I
isn't.
I've not seen strong consist and it's the funny thing. I don't see strong consistency from the people that say it. But the funny thing about it
Mm-hmm.
is I'm not asking it. I'm not asking that because it isn't necessarily a consistent thing. Because where the profit matters will matter to each company differently, right?
Mm-hmm.
So real estate revaluation in one company is not necessarily the same thing in a different company. So I understand if you see if those are the lines they go along. But then to fully trash it, no matter where it come from, until you like the company or you know the
Mm.
CEO, then that to me is a problem.
Yeah. Well, that's funny because no, like even real estate, like you know me,
I don't care for it really.
I don't care about I don't care about like the profit of the land was worth 90 last year.
But I
This year's
also know that a large part of that as well for me
hmm
is I know I know it has its place in the market in the sense of
yeah.
it is not the strongest thing from investors' perspective for movement of the share price. If it was a big deal or if it was put in its place more strongly, meaning it doesn't necessarily get this pushback as that it gets in some places. So if people were willing to look at it on a proper basis and move with it, then I feel like I would be more accepting of it.
Yes.
In but I think I put in its place more than other people, and I care for it less because I know a lot of people don't put it, won't categorize it in the same way.
True. I
The
find it's
things
a
that make it
talking
matter to
point
them are
more than
are
a
exactly
more
the
than
things
an
that make it matter
actual
to them
care. Yeah.
are not thing there.
Yeah. Most
Because
people who talk about it don't actually care about
it's
it.
like
I
when
find.
a company owns shares and the shares move, and I've seen where some people have it as a great thing in as a bad thing in one place and then more money in another place. Seen that.
True. True. And even you think about it, we have pure real estate companies on the market.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have pure real estate players on the market. We have the Epley Cap, we have the Epley Prop, we have
Stanley Motor,
Stanley Motta,
Berkshire.
we have KP REIT. Uh, and it's funny, I kind of like at this
Mm-hmm.
point, I kind of like Epley Prop, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't care about Stanley Motta, but I respect what it is. I get how it works as a business. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but then you find that the loudest talk about real estate is often from companies who it's like something else not working and you're trying to tell me about it. Like, honest, I don't care how big the place that you built is, Fosrich. That doesn't help. It obviously hasn't helped your numbers, so it don't help me with the
Mm-hmm.
judging of it.
Mm-hmm.
And the people talking about it excited that the big building, yeah, but you don't care either because you're not rushing to buy
Mm-hmm.
the shares because of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Look on back to I create Kintyre.
Yeah, that was what I said.
Yeah,
I know a lot of people care less about Kinta making real estate moves
nobody cared
than
about the real estate, the piece of land up wherever. Look at the
mm-hmm.
reaction to the piece of land up wherever versus the reaction to cultural
Mm-hmm.
buy, right? Which again, I get Tyrone's probably superpower is I don't know, maybe media. Just making a conversation. I
Mm-hmm.
was joking that everybody's like, oh yeah, culture. You didn't know culture last week. You knew about it because of the headline.
Honestly, that's the first thing I thought. Sorry, I thought it's like
True.
it immediately becomes hmm. Is that because we see things? I don't know if that's because we see things differently. That I really don't know. But I haven't heard I haven't seen much conversation around it. So
There is
but in reality for me was never go a party and drink no culture rum before. Not
ever.
that I won't. Not that it won't be at parties or anything like that. It's just
Yeah.
I cannot gauge it and say I can look at it and say, oh yeah man, this is a big deal immediately.
Exactly. But it sounds and looks like a big deal. And that's why I say that's a
Mm-hmm.
superpower in terms of trying to guide that kind of conversation.
And the truth is,
Right?
I can see great coming out of it. The he's in the media space generally. He's
Certainly in the media.
I create Kintai has done a big party before.
Uh-huh.
If you're doing that, then placement of your liquor at that your affiliated liquor within those spaces does make sense, right?
And it
That's how we
can
do it.
be
That's what,
if you get a small bottler. Well, you didn't buy the bottler. It's the same bottler for I don't know, Great Drum or whatever like that. But yeah, but
hmm
it, I mean, you don't go. You can blow up a revenue line with that.
hmm
Um, and then because it's the type of company who's changed Kintyre into,
hmm
it, it's beautiful because you get to book a lot of pay for profit. Bring us right back to your right
hmm
profit that oh it's profit, but it's not real profit. I mean, it got to the retained earnings,
You need.
but and it's there, right? And if ever there's any cash, it can actually be paid out as a dividend.
hmm
But most people don't really go crazy about it like that.
hmm hmm
Um, and so how long will it last? How long can it last? Is the
hmm
question. How long can you ride the wave of it for? And yeah, that it can work. It's like how long will I actually like this. I don't know how
hmm
because I don't know how long it will work in the eyes of people. You can see the bump, you can see the excitement around it. You can see it's lovely seeing the share price that share price rise, right? As talking the other day, somebody and I said if you measure from the end of July till now it's 121. Well, I don't think it's 121 anymore. It's probably even more than that now. Come
hmm
to think that it's probably more than that. But at the time it was up, I think it was yesterday, or the day before, it was 121% profit if you measure from the end of July till yesterday. 121% share price rise, and today is probably larger. Bottom line is that sounds nice, but so what, right? I don't want to be a hypocrite saying that because I've profited off it. Actually, kicking myself because I actually had an order that sold, and I never wanted to sell it. Right? I forget. I put it in from before. I
If
put
it
in
got
like
just
a couple of weeks ago,
hmm
and you just see the contract note and go, oh right, I forgot to cancel that. So you feel bad about profit. And it's funny, I fulfill my profit promise. I did tell Tyrone said I'd be buying it and selling it, and I'm sure I'll be profitable. And I'm sure always I will. It's how it works. And it has happened. But yeah, I just wonder how sustainable it is. And if it's sustainable, then it represents a shift in the investor thinking, right? And
hmm
that would be great. It would be great if people actually cared about real estate in most of these companies. It'd be great if they cared about stuff like this. I can see how something like this can be a boon in the future. Uh, the equity is just another Kintyre, really. Right?
hmm
That's all it is. It's another
Just have
Kintyre.
they've had different. They're at a different stage of success.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah,
They've had a
yeah.
listing,
Yeah, they've had a listing. And
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 they have the companies they have are they have more companies doing.
I need them more than Kintyre, bro. Like if you go back
No,
a
no, no, no,
long
no.
time, Tyre gonna tell you about companies
No,
now.
as I said, more companies doing
Better
profitable
business,
revenue,
profitable,
cash coming in. We
revenue
cash coming in,
generating, revenue generating, cash
cash generating.
generating businesses. Correct. And I
And
think
there's
more
cash flowing
profitable.
up to it from it from those companies
Yes. Yeah, yeah,
on
yeah,
that
yeah.
thing there.
Yeah.
So
Granted, led by the dollar. And it's so funny how that goes. Like I was talking in the girl group about that the other day, and somebody said, "Yeah, but it's just dollar." Or was it last week on this? It was last week on Brickta.
yeah, that's it. And it's just dollar, and
Yeah.
then you're
So
like,
there's like
no.
just dollar. I was like, you might
Mhm.
just dollar. Yeah.
It's also we never really prospectus, right? So
Yeah,
going now.
true, true. So I'd saw it as usual. But it's it's good to it's good overall to see. Either way, like I said, it's exciting. It's my favorite show. I don't own shares in any of my favorite shows, so the entire show is always a good one. Who knows? I had this
hmm
thing from months ago or last year or something. I say maybe the next acquisition is a piece of Eddie Focal to yeah, one to the other to cause whatever. You get me? You see it and it's funny, it's laughable, and it's great. You can make some money off it. Not knocking that at all. Yeah, I'm happy about the
hmm
money I made off I create off Kintyre. Um, but you just wonder how sustainable it is. It's not sustainable unless and until you get a true change in how investors view the whole of this thing. And investors, you can't disappoint them along the way. And that's it that brings us full circle to that point where it's better to be upfront because you can't disappoint them along the way. Like I know in Kintyre's numbers, a large part are driven by they have a 80 the 80 mil note, which I think is the
Mm-hmm. Well, that's also the
leaching
sign that.
company loan. That's a
Mm-hmm.
convertible note, so that's a cash
Mm-hmm.
in. Maybe then you get the real estate and the real estate, depending on how you book it. How
But
you,
that to
that's
me is
paper games. You get
also,
me?
but
So
that
like if
is
people are
but
excited about that, if I buy today at 60, how do
mhm.
I feel if next week or next month or next quarter I'm hearing there's even more dilution because we have to pay for the acquisition
And
which
convertible
like
notes.
yeah, yeah, exactly, right, and some of that conversion makes its way to the market. You can't say it won't make it way to the market. We have lots of examples. We saw Tyrone himself costing um equity
Mm-hmm.
for his share price falling in the past. Funny, because I've heard us get cussed for that in the past. So
Interesting. Eh?
it's very
I never
interesting
made
now.
that. I never, I've never had the same stake as equity. I've never sold as
At
much as
all.
equity.
Yeah, man. But only easy to call, right? And also, if somebody want to call
It's
your
a,
name,
it's easy to lie now, and people don't know better.
exactly. That's exactly. It's easy
Let me
to hide
believe
and
you because
people
them
don't
not
know
got
better.
them, nobody is not gonna check it for them for real. But me I gonna tell you some
Exactly.
check and I did.
Yeah. I even know. Like I don't know how many people remember that. Oh yeah, that was supposed to be. I didn't know it was deputy that was
How
causing
we
it.
should know, guys. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. That's funny. I
Tyron never
can't,
blame we.
yeah, can't knock him because he's not the only one to do that, right? To
Mhm.
lie and allow somebody else to think. Yeah, it's somebody else getting the blame, so you just leave it. Well, it is what it
Mhm.
is. It's part of being in the market. Um, and the beauty of being in the market, that the most powerful players in the market are the investors. So
Mhm.
talk is cheap, buying and selling is stronger.
Mhm.
Uh, but yeah, where is that line? And there's other
Mm,
versions of that line. There's like the
because it's such a nuanced thing. So it's if I, that might be what makes it so easy for them to not draw the line, right?
yeah, because like do you prefer a Kintyre where everything is the greatest thing I'm doing right now is so good. Oh my God, this is great. Every two
Mhm.
weeks until the big raise, so you should love it enough to go and put money in. Or do you
Mhm.
prefer like Eddie Focal where it's oh no, we're great, even if we're obviously not, and we need to fix and then we get in there? Or do you prefer like MFS where it's, oh no, things are great, but you're not acting like it's great. You're saying it's great, but you put why you put on the parachute? If it's great, why are you
Mhm.
putting on your
Mhm.
parachute? Or like a JFE where them just not saying nothing. And you're
Not
wondering
saying.
like, bro, are you still around? Like you've been quiet. Are you still around?
Maybe
Or a
JP
JBG
talk
where
to us so
it's
much in the past.
maybe so? Oh, talk.
JP, yeah, him talk to us so much in the past. They told us something that they since we get it.
It's not about talking too much, it's about talking accurately, right? They told us that they acquired
Yeah,
something.
I know.
Yeah.
And then me I check on him never acquire it. So
Yeah.
confused. Blue Emerald.
So yeah, I wonder about that. And it's a full spectrum. Then you have like a JSE
Mm-hmm.
who every article, even though it's still the market is I
No,
mean,
bro. Even today I saw JS. It at this point it's making me laugh, and not a good laugh. It's just boy, when you can't just be real, or not. It's not even be real. Are you just don't know better? We- I saw the article the thing today. The headline. Let me see if I find it. But it's of course JSC okay despite something. That's the kind of vibe. Yeah, despite the market being down, JSC doing well or okay. And I'm like,
yeah. Like
do you
what's
not
it?
know? Like, do you just don't know? Is that it?
Yeah.
Or
Or don't care. I don't know if they don't know or don't care. I think maybe it is don't know. I
but
think well I
the
said I
don't
think
know
it
and
might
don't care often come together, and it's I don't care enough to know.
true. Yo, when you invest, it really shifts how you see a whole
Yeah,
lot of the
because it's
landscape.
certain thing because it's skin in the game.
Yeah,
It hurts when you're wrong about that thing.
yeah, yeah. And I don't know how much I feel like a lot of our investing stories, or no, a lot of the market stories, are written by people who don't invest and don't know.
Mhm.
In fact, I know that is written that way
Yeah,
because then the lies that
legally.
they tell are the lies that you tell because you don't know what the truth should sound like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and for
Mm-hmm.
us on the other end of that, you have to know what the truth should sound like so that when the person talk,
Mm-hmm.
the second you know, the lies are stupid, like they're laughable because like I often describe it like it's a child lying to you. They don't know
Mm-hmm. You
how
don't
they
know. Yeah.
should lie, so they take you and say, "No, I'm the only person in the room. I don't know how the vase break. The vase just drop on its own."
It's and you look back and say, boy, my mother didn't know better, you know. She just she just let me off a time there.
Exactly, exactly, exactly. You see
Because
it in the market
I look
all
at
the
a
time.
child now and you see that you see the guilt, you see the line in face sometimes you're like, Jano.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think a tropical. I think a tropical, and then telling us that hey, we're graduating to the main market, and we're doing it like 6 years early. Oh, you, you're giving up a tax break 6 years early. Congrats, congrats. That point actually is a good one. I want to look at Kintyre. I wondered about it because I noticed in the quarter they didn't book any tax. But don't they lose the tax rate? Haven't they lost the tax rate?
Yeah, tell me, yeah,
Yeah,
ask me, bro.
yeah. That's that painful point. That's another avoided point. I think they've lost the tax
Mm-hmm.
rate, and not just there. I think Eddie Foucault would have lost the tax rate too, and I think definitely
Mm-hmm.
Tropical would have lost the tax rate. That's a point that I'd love greater
But
clarity
uh,
on.
but
And
but, but it's also in there. Yeah, I find it funny they put those three together. When you realize like no tropical volunteer it away.
that's true. Tropical is,
In
in my
some
view,
ways
is the
these guys did
worst.
too, but these guys it's, is it the worst? In some ways, yes. I would never want you to give up the tax break. So don't tell me say give them my tax break.
Yeah,
Because me pay tax and you are telling me say you don't have to be a still do it. Where me? If you tell me say you don't have to be, you decide to let me just stop the pay tax for this dream. The other two know we're in positions where we shouldn't be.
true, true.
Mm-hmm.
This is like, yeah. Guy walks on the
So
road, get
it's
robbed.
two of them bad. It's just I can't tell you which one worse.
Yeah, but I feel like I don't know.
You want to get rubber one, that's the money. Which one
Exactly,
you okay with?
exactly. Yeah, I mean, you lose the money in all of in both of the
But
cases.
you
But
wait, no, it's not Rob. It's not Rob. It's not Rob. I wouldn't call it Rob. I can't keep it the same way. Oh,
here's what I'd say: like
one dash of the money, but
if you're going down the road, like don't go down that lane.
don't go down the lane.
And you go down the
You
lane 'cause
can't
you think
wear
it's a
you can't wear a
shortcut.
chain for your neck when you go down the lane. Especially if you go down the lane,
Yeah,
get robbed, and you wear your gold chain.
and you go down there, you get robbed. Then that's incompetence, right?
Yeah.
But then the next guy's like, "Hey, I'm taking that shortcut." Like, what you
Mm-hmm.
mean down robbery lane? Yeah, and you go down and that guy get robbed. You're like, oh, yeah, you've also lost your chain, but I don't know. You knew you walked you walked with the chain in your hand. The guys came up, you're like, "Here, guys, there's a chain." So I don't
Yeah,
know.
man, walk with nothing running. That's what you say. Oh, see, tell my boss.
Yeah,
And you know,
I think it's different. You'd say why in
both bad is
other
just boy. Yeah, but I really can't tell you which one I look at more. I, I look at them both badly. True, I can't. I cannot say which one I think is worse. But I'm looking at them both and saying this never happen. This should not happen. Never happen.
well, true. I actually don't know. But I guess maybe I think naturally the tropical one is worse because I mean I come with a whole heap more, come with the APO, just
It's
hurt.
also Eddie Focal isn't booking income tax as well.
Yeah, I mean these are unaudited results, right? You can write anything.
Yeah, but I want at least I want clarity. I want to know. I truly want to know. Suspension is enough. It's based on what I read. I think it should be. Or not. I don't, I mean I don't want it to be right. I don't
Yeah.
want you to say, oh, okay, the suspension thing. Them get a blind. Government say, cool man, just make sure you do your thing properly next time.
Yeah, but
Which
the
is true
government didn't
next
have that
time
kind of power.
because
That's the
well,
annoying thing,
well
right?
here's the thing. I said next time. This is the second suspension. Well,
Yeah, but also I don't think like government don't have that
so
power.
yeah,
It's not
the government right. The thing, the law is the law.
exactly.
So yeah,
Who knows?
I don't know.
Well, that's why I don't mind making a profit when I make it, because you never know where these things might go. Again,
And
but I
pay
hope,
tax to them.
yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
hope it's successful. I say it's such a, it runs a gamut. There's all of these cases from a Kintyre, from a Learn, from a Tropical, from a MFS to as big as a, a JBG.
Mm-hmm.
You know, those they weren't, in my view, extremely forthcoming either.
Mm-hmm.
And they're trying to manage a story, and you understand it, but also you want to know, and
Mm-hmm.
you in some cases you need to know,
Mm-hmm.
and all that comes right back down on us as investors. That's why we have to know, because you
That
can't
that's
spend.
that's that. Yeah, I was going to go there way earlier because when we it's a very investor driven situation. So
Yes,
when we talk about when people talk about oh companies should give more or whatever, the reality is that's not a lot of people saying that, and worse is not a lot of people saying that to the people who should be hearing it. A
true,
man will come tell me and Randy, like say me and Randy are poor over that, right?
true, true,
Like
true, true.
I don't make these guys right at MDA properly.
Yeah.
It's truly one of the things that one of the things that I've said before on our earnings, a good conversation around that is we're talking about those people talking about the maturity of the American market, and the truth it is more mature. It's been around for a very long time. A
Hmm.
big part of that is there are certain interests tied to it, and money tied to it that it's a true demand better situation. Yeah, you want my money to do these things,
Hmm.
then there are certain things I'm going to ask for. And if you don't do them, I'm just going to say you're not good enough. So we as investors, we are the money that's being come to. People are coming to us and say, yo, we want your money to do these things. And we're giving you a good thing there. We have to say, all right, that's good enough.
Yeah, I ask, like, is it actually good enough? How do you know?
Yep. I want to know this thing.
Yeah.
And it's well within my right to ask it. And everybody
Hmm.
else in this room wants to know this thing. So we're gonna ask. And if you don't give us a good answer, we're not
Yeah.
gonna be happy here.
Correct.
So that's a big. We talk about maturity. That's where that's what needs to happen. A lot of, which is why investor education is a big deal. People need to know what, which is why we cause about AGMs. We see very strongly where people just don't know what they should be asking.
I
People
think
go to
that's the thing.
AGM by rote.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. I think I've not about my gut to say this and my gut of my experience, but I think that what we've been in is a space where the parties involved are aware of how little
To me, it must
the
be.
people that they're speaking to know.
To me, it must be that.
Yeah, they know that you don't know much, so you know
You
you
know, you
can give
know, yeah,
all kind of,
yep.
you can give a story.
Because
Yeah, man.
we've seen it. We've seen the.
Yeah.
I know that guy's giving an answer that he knows is not enough,
Hmm.
but him can get. It's not enough to certain people, but him can get away with most people.
Yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I've seen that many a time. Yeah, I've seen that many a
Exactly
time.
that.
And they know that,
Mm-hmm.
like you see, almost like you see it in everything. You see it in the selection of questions that are answered at
Yep, I only
AGMs.
answer certain questions, or
Yeah,
maybe
man.
I limit your questions. So we're doing this time thing, so we now go past this coming from my yard here.
Yeah, X amount of questions, quick and fast.
Yeah.
And it's funny, people won't. It's again one of those things where you have to know it. And when you know it,
Mm-hmm.
you see it clearly.
Mm-hmm.
Because, yeah, once you know it, you see clearly. Because it doesn't always look like that, right? You think, yeah, but
Mm-hmm.
they're not avoiding questions. None of us said avoid questions, they avoid certain questions. They'll
Mm-hmm.
they'll very happily take the questions from they'll
The
take a
question them
technical
us ask
sounding
them five
question.
times last. Yep.
Yeah, man, they'll take a technical sounding question. They'll take a businessy sounding question. They'll take a nice
Mm-hmm.
sounding question, and they skip some little small things in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
I know it. That's why I often say that. Yeah, sometimes the best gift I give is my silence, because
Mm-hmm.
one or two questions that, like, two real questions, they'll stumble, they'll choke, not because they don't have the answer. Sometimes that they don't have the answer. Sometimes it's that they don't have the answer. Sometimes that they don't even know that they should have an answer.
Mm-hmm.
But almost always it's because they don't even know what the correct answer should sound like, and so they're gonna say rubbish to pretend, and it cascades. So do I expose myself to all of that, or do I just yeah, nice sounding story and cut quick
Mm-hmm.
before the questions start?
Mm-hmm.
I would say which one that we've been exposed to the most. So hey, it's for us investors to make the
But also,
difference.
I heard that I don't know. I don't know what I can say it easily, investor education or whatever.
Hmm.
But how do we get that targeted where a lot of people and like even then, like I said that a lot of people are at a certain place, but then I also know that the thing same in the US market. In a lot of ways, a lot of people don't know. But it's just that there are enough people that know and enough people in certain positions that will have certain demands. Like
Yeah,
so
there's
that
a
might be it. Why
and
why
there,
why they are where they are. But
they have a
I know it's not
strong
it's not
his.
a situation of most people are at a certain place.
Yeah, and them having a strong history also of true investor activism.
Yes. That's
Yeah,
what I'm talking about. Yeah,
yeah,
that
man, true
that
investor
so
activism.
people will say, "Oh, my money up, so this needs to
Exactly.
happen," and I'm loud enough, and people will say, "All right, I hear what he's saying. I agree with him. Let's put our voice behind what he's saying.
Yeah,
Put
but
our money behind what he's saying." That.
yeah, and then you have people who follow up in Jamaica. We tied to so many things. Still, I think actually it's tied into a lot of word conflict.
Yes, sir.
How we
My
manage
friend
conflict.
said,
We don't know how
"Oh,
to.
him have my name as a youth there. I got AJ man ask the wrong question, and then now
Exactly.
everybody vex with me."
And even the AGM people, the people
Mm-hmm.
having an AGM, the companies having AGMs, the companies having these things, they themselves many times don't know how to handle conflicts. It's almost like they don't think that they should be asked certain
Mm-hmm.
things.
Of course.
Yeah, I don't want you to ask. Yeah, and yo, you get that. I have gotten that ear from many people like, yo,
Mm-hmm.
who are you to ask the big man X?
Mm-hmm.
Bro, I
Mm-hmm.
am the big man too. What
Mm-hmm.
do you mean? We're all the big man or the big woman.
He's like, why
Yeah.
you rate that man this so much? Can I have money? Or can
Yeah.
I have a big job? Like, you man, you're the same thing.
Yeah.
He works for you.
They don't know that.
That guy you're putting above yourself, he works for you.
They don't know that, and they know that you don't know that.
Nobody no bigger than you. That's a
Exactly.
everybody in Jamaica know that. Everybody in Jamaica needs to practice that.
Yeah, yeah. I
Because
will practice in a way, we pretend that we practice in a way that we don't
uh-huh.
understand. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's weird. It's like how low self-esteem might show itself
Mm-hmm.
as like a pretense of confidence. Well, it's not
Yes.
real confidence. Yeah, it's in the same way. Like, oh, I put on these airs, but it's okay to not know, or it's okay to say, oh, it's not good. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know what the hell I'm doing, or whatever. Or maybe you don't say you don't know what the hell you're doing. Maybe you find a nicer way of saying that, but you act, show how you act to fix it. Anyway, either way, it's on us. That's the bottom line. Nobody's coming to fix it. No company's gonna show up and they're like, oh, we're great. And even if they show up and they're great, that's only for them.
Mm-hmm.
Like we talk about all the time, we praise the Cygnus MDNA, but not many other companies are doing the Cygnus SATA MDNA.
Mm-hmm.
And Cygnus themselves don't want certain questions, but to their credit,
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen them not answer some questions. To
Mm-hmm.
Cygnus's credit, I've never seen them not answer some questions. Even questions that I would expect them to avoid.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen them not answer some of those questions. I saw somebody send a speaking request earlier. I tried to accept it, but I don't know. I think, yeah, I don't know if it's
Yeah, I got the speaking request accepted.
okay. Perfect.
Right.
What's up? What are you doing?
Good man,
Good
good man.
boss.
Night, guys.
Night,
Night,
night.
guys.
Right,
So
boss.
I mean, I can briefly touch on what you guys been talking about, but I have a question otherwise from that.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Um,
your call.
yeah.
Your call. Yeah, go
No,
straight
but
ahead.
I kind of echo what you're saying. Like it all feels very sparse. But I personally don't think investors are going to demand more information because I think that you guys will be like a minority in terms of like wanting more information amongst the general investor base. I think most investors would probably prefer to know that they can do a little bit of extra research, or they have some insight into the company that other like investors don't have, so they're earlier to it, and they can act as the smart money. So I don't think that they're going to necessarily be
Hmm.
like broad
I
base.
don't think I
Yeah,
agree.
support more. You do agree?
I don't think it's the most investors. I don't know that that is the driving force for that. I think the ignorance is the true driving force of, because I've not spoken to much people that actually know when certain things are happening in front of them.
True. I mean, yo,
I find that
people,
people want to be. So I think you're right about when you say, right when you say people want to be in that position, but I don't know how often do you find people in that position for real, where they know about this thing and them doing a play on it, so them quiet about it.
Well, I guess them being quiet
Or
about it.
are very often them say it and then you realize it's not. Or they say it and then you check it out. The thing they're being quiet about isn't this big deal or isn't actually something that's quiet.
well, to be fair, let me find the middle road though, Danai. To be fair, that attitude is very prevalent. Now, whether or not the thing is
Oh yeah, I
actually
agree.
useful is another thing.
All right.
No, yeah, man.
But
I agree.
but
I
he's
think it's
right in
prevalent,
that it's
yeah.
a mentality. It's a mentality where, like, think about you see the conversation. So all the time I tell people that, yo, like, why do you not want to
Oh yeah, I agree.
talk about
I
X,
agree
Y,
on that,
Z?
but
And
I don't think that is the thing that's limiting this issue we have. That's the limiting factor for this issue we have.
but maybe it's a
I think
mentality.
that
So maybe you're doing it as not good, but you have the mentality. So even if you come across something that's good, you already have the mentality. I'm not sure. Is that what you mean? Bell
Something like
curve?
that, yeah.
I think
Yeah,
that's what
yeah.
I'm saying. But
Something like
what
that.
I'm
Like
saying is
someone
I
will
don't.
think and kind of like throw these insinuations, but it's all,
But I
I don't
find
know
that
if it's empty
that's a
or if it's
small
justified
segment.
or whatever,
I,
but
I don't think that's most investors. That's what I'm saying. I don't think it's a situation where this. I don't think that's why most people won't step forward. I think the thing that's making most people not do this, because I say that I think the minority line, us being a minority in that aspect, starts earlier than just us wanting it. I think us knowing certain things is where we're the minority.
fair.
That's true, because the lack of that knowledge causes, I think, a lot of what he's talking about. So there are things that I see, you see it on Twitter. There's people, you have some accounts. There's some accounts that are like,
We
I know,
all know that counts. We
they're
all know
run
that.
by known dunces. And they're like, you're like, there's no way people could believe this. But then you talk to other people or you hear other people talk, you realize, right, they believe it. And the only reason they believe it is because you don't know. I always use the Jamaica example. If somebody if you tell somebody in Reykjavik that, Jamaica is a murderous place, not necessarily wrong. But Jamaica is a murderous place and you shouldn't go there. No tourists can go there. And you're like, there's no way somebody could believe that. But if they don't know anything about Jamaica, or they know it's like, oh, people are there is violence there, they might believe it. And you as a Jamaican will look at it and you're like, that's crazy for you to believe that. That's how I feel. But I look at it and I realize that, oh no, it really does have legs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you have funny accounts, right? There are some accounts I like, there's some accounts I find funny, but you have some known dunces out there, and the known dunces, you're right, the known dunces carry the words go a lot further than you'd expect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think yes, I agree. Yeah, that attitude I think is prevalent. I'm not saying I don't think the attitude is why we're here, because in a lot of the cases, it's not necessarily that this gives. In a lot of cases, it's not that there's this advantage from this. That I don't see posturing for an advantage from this. It just feels like, oh, these guys are talking and everybody's eyes are glossed over because they must something technical, or him respond to this question, and the way him respond, I know say he might trick everybody with it, but that's it. He might trick everybody with it. It's just it's when I turn to Randy and hear Randy say something. Say, oh yeah, okay, so I know about me alone, right? But then when I hear about the same thing, other people saying it back to me, is they just give the response the guy gave, not knowing the context that's being hidden or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think it's regulation going to solve it. To be honest with you.
Regulation.
I don't think so.
What is regulation? Well, let's hold on.
What
Maybe.
do you mean by that?
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
Give me an
Regulation,
example.
you're gonna have to have actual enforced standards. You're gonna have to say you have to fill out the IMDNA. You have to not just like restate the numbers as they appear on the financial statement. You have to give like actual material commentary on
You
what's
can't
going on.
force that, bro.
You can't force that. And
How
two,
can you force that?
it's
It
a
is
kind of
already regulation. It's already
already
regulation.
So you
Yeah.
have to. You should be. You
So
should
would
have
have
to
to
give
be
them
something
minute.
that's enforced better then, right?
How?
Because
Also, what then
the
think
example
about
that you gave of I think it's Spur Tree,
Uh-huh.
not mentioning like how exactly they're gonna cover, inventory like in the 4 months past the 4 months that are coming.
Well, I
Um,
mean, they'll still be around, but they never had to do that. In the case of Spurtree, just to add clarity to what you said, what I would have wanted to see is, let me give people a good example of it, just to round out what you're saying here. Spurtree, you're looking at the Q3 last year. Maybe that's not the good one, because that has, let's see if that had that didn't have it in there. I'm looking for, let's look at maybe the Q2 or the Q1 last year, 2024. I look at both Q2, Q1, and just to be safe, I look at the annual report. All right. So in the Q2 last year, they speak about losses in the subsidiary affecting their performance, right? And they make reference to the low seasonal production of Aki. That's Q2 last year. But they expect an improvement in the third and fourth quarter because they expect greater yield output. I'm adding to it here just for time's sake. I believe like they put a lot of money into Aki farming, and they expected like okay, we're instead of it being something haphazard, they actually try to grow their crops. They also engage with like some set suppliers, so they're expecting a bumper crop in Q3 and Q4. So they're saying that in Q2. As you just saw in the Q3 report, the word Aki doesn't appear, but also in the Q3, what was the hurricane last year? Beryl happened. And they kind of did the same avoidance thing, but eventually they came out and the CEO spoke about it and saying that it didn't affect them much actually post Beryl, and that was great. Then some heavy rains happened, not Beryl, but some heavy rains happened in Q4, and I think that actually, funny enough, really affected them. Cool. Then start of this year, they come back and they're talking about Aki, and they're ready, and they're trying to give it there. So this is the Q1 last year. Improved Aki production. Capacity at both Aki factories will be upgraded to dry production, and the output of the next crop is expected to begin June 2024. Now, if you remember, Beryl was, I think, July 4th, 2024, right? So that kind of hit them hard. This year, they just put out their Q3, and the Q3 ends September, sorry, the Q3 ends September 30th, and it's reported in November. So between the end of the quarter and the reporting date, Melissa happened. And that's a massive known, what's the official finance term that the regulations you're talking about say that it has to be mentioned.
Material event.
It's a material event, and they have to, and it's a material event post quarter, subsequent event. It's a subsequent event, and there's no official subsequent event mentioned in the financials where you'd expect it to be, but
So it's outlook.
in the outlook, they speak about Aki production broadening overall base. I feel like they wrote this from before, right? And no mention of Melissa here, and the hurricane. Don't tell me I didn't mention it at all. So as some people know, because of how poor the MDNA situation is locally, I don't expect that. I learned to look at the numbers and work out what the real picture is from the numbers. Let's see. No hurricane mentioned either. And this is the Q3 report for Spurtree. And then in an article, if I remember correctly, I think it's an article that spoke about 4 months of inventory, which I think the article is referencing maybe the earnings call or the annual, the AGM, one of them. So it's something spoken about, but it's not in the documents here. And then, as you heard Anana saying before, it's a separate company, which happens to own a good chunk of this company, that GK spoke about massive damage to the Aki crop. So Spurtree told us nothing. Then verbally, leadership told us about 4 months of inventory, tiding them over, which is good. It's a good thing.
Yeah, it was good that they said that, but they never really said anything about like what happens afterwards. That's kind of what I was.
True, I get you, but you'd assume that 4 months of inventory means 4 months of working and then build up in that time. But the question I want to ask you is this:
How
how would
your
regulation
regulation
fix
you put
that?
in place, it is so, as I said earlier, a part of it is the nuance.
Yeah, how would
All right, all right,
regulations
all
fix
right.
that?
Make we use a more defined example then.
No.
All right.
The answer,
But this is a
like
different
in this
example.
case, it's a defined real example. How would you regulate that Spur Tree mention Melissa and the effect on the company in their financials outside of what already exists in regulation?
So if it's not going to be specific in the financials, like you mentioned, this is like post the end of the reporting period, right?
Yeah,
You
but the
have
regulations require them to mention it in there. And lots of
well,
other
then,
companies
well,
mention it as a
regulations require
subsequent event.
it's an issue of enforcement.
Yeah, but how do you enforce it? Because other companies that mentioned it
Mm-hmm.
also was my favorite one was what was it? I mentioned it last week, then
I know you did mention it
or
last
maybe
week.
it's ROC.
Yeah, I think so.
I think ROC has been my second favorite one, but it's good enough for this. So ROC said that they do not expect, working from memory, but they said they do not expect any material
Solvency.
impact on the company's solvency. One, how do you regulate the sentence? Because I read the sentence and it it fulfills it fulfills the obligation. But
Strict rules give strict problems, yeah?
yeah, it
He
fulfills
tells me write it a certain
obligations.
way, then trust me, I'm going to write it a certain way. And the more you do, the more you narrow it down, is in many cases, the more I'll get out of certain things.
All right, maybe then in that instance, it fulfills the letter of the law, but not necessarily the spirit of it, which is
Yeah,
like
you can't
there's
force
a
the
That's not the
spirit.
there's, a,
problem.
there's an
There's
expectation, right, that you're going to keep your investor base informed of material events. Like outside of the law, there's that
Mm-hmm,
expectation. The law is supposed to like catch up with expectations.
mm-hmm.
Um, that's my thing. I don't really know how you'd word it in a specific way. I never really do law, and I don't really have any kind of competence in that respect. But I do think that there could be
You have
something.
competence, you have sense. It's not as hard as you think, man. You have more than enough sense. Like you're talking to you that
yeah,
you can tell.
it's my, yeah. So it's, I think you're more than competent enough to do that. It's just there are certain problems that come with certain kind of things.
Mhm.
Basically, I don't, how do you regulate this? How, like, what body would step in and say do this, and then how do you tell, and then the issue of how do I tell them to do it? And I've been saying it broadly because Spurtree and One and Omni have different ways where this affects them, and they all write about it differently. If you
Mhm.
narrow it down too
Dollar.
far, then you don't catch enough people.
Yeah.
Or you might catch this guy in there, he has to say it a certain way, but then everybody else is okay to say it how they to say the thing you asked them, but the thing they're answering doesn't read to the way you want to.
I
So
get the
it's
point.
again, to me, it's a large part on investors have to reach a point. But I agree with you in the sense of I don't know how we get there exactly. To it possibly, as Randy said, investor activism, and what that comes with in truth is
I think there's also
it,
some quietness on the institutional side. Institutional
Some,
side.
of course.
Well,
some
I'm being generous here.
Yeah.
I like big. I like
very
nuance.
very. There's a reason I'm talking about us, because I know.
So I would say,
Remember, we
there are
earn
guys
from the
whose
share
job should
price.
be this, right? Like whose job should be like to fight back
No,
on this lack of disclosure. I mean,
who's that?
you run a fund
Who that?
of X billion dollars, all right, with people pension and so forth, and you know this huge storm comes, and you're not sure how exactly a company gonna fulfill its obligations. You should be able to push back and say, hey, where's a statement? What's going on? That you need to release to the public.
Mhm.
But that's not happening.
I don't know if I should speak.
Yeah, you could. I have found out that sometimes it is done, but
Because
it's
not to the
done
public.
internally. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
if I own a lot of this and I see it and it's clear to me,
You're
And
gonna
we
make a
get on the
call.
phone and we make a call, and we have our analyst make the call, and we find out and we get our reassurance, and that's where it ended.
And there's
Yeah,
no again I run a pension fund. There's no obligation on me to tell anybody about my pension people. And
yeah,
the truth is, there's not an obligation to tell the pension people because what I'm doing is managing the fund and whatever.
true.
There's not a conversation like that happening. And oh, we do this X, Y, Z. So it'll be the same as if you pick up your phone and call, but I hope they answer you the way they answer the guy, the guy with the institution.
And they
Those.
and they almost certainly won't.
Because
The,
another
the, the
example
relationship is there
mine,
in a way that isn't for you.
this one is closer to me because this is where I have some money. With Dolphin Cove, I have to be paying close attention to the observer to be seeing, when the port get delay in reopening, what are the concerns in actually sticking to a given timeline. But that's not being mentioned like, in the notices. This kind of thing is like material for their
No.
performance. And
Well,
obviously
hold on. Is it though? What is material for their performance?
the cruise port that was damaged and was
Is
recently
it?
reopened in Ocho Rios. Yeah man,
I,
yeah man, yeah man, yeah man, yeah man. Like
hold on. So you say yeah, man. I don't.
they,
I don't agree with you there,
no
and I
man, they
don't know
used
that it is.
I've called them, right? I've called
Yeah.
them.
Uh
Plus,
huh.
I've like they used to. I don't remember which year, right? My recollection
Hmm.
not so good, but they've reported
Mhm.
like the breakdown, right, in previous years of like where they're getting most of their visitors. Like they've provided that in their
They
reporting.
have correct. Yeah.
Yeah, and you can see where when the cruise port got damaged, and
Hmm.
I called Otrius and I asked the tour guides and the tour companies, how it going in that respect, and they say, visits are down, and
Uh
you
huh.
can see the numbers reflect that in the reporting.
Well, I don't know if the numbers reflect that visits are down, but I agree that the cruise, like I say, it's for. I like that you're activists that way. It's up to us as investors. That's why I think it's the only solution. It's up to us as investors to do. There's no easy button. The easy button is that you have
Mhm.
to know it, and it's annoying because it's true. So then, like, if you miss something, like the law requires them. That's a problem of the regulation. The law requires me to tell you something, but the law does not require me to correct your incorrect assumptions.
Yeah. It doesn't make me have to get up and tell you how certain things go. Or I tell you what I supposed to tell you.
Mhm.
Your research and if it leads you somewhere, I don't have to get up and say, "Oh yeah, that's the exact right place. That's exactly correct. This is exactly how this works." Also. I'll tell you what I have to tell you already.
Yeah, and so you get that. So like even for the Laughing Cove thing, yeah, the cruise ship thing is great, but yo, the cruise ship port terminal is not Dolphin Coves. It's the government's, right?
No, it's
Hmm.
not.
It's
It's
the
not. It's not.
people.
It's not
So they
theirs.
they have no reason to say that. Also, realistically, if you understand the business did pretty well, but there are other ports. The port has been closed for over a
They
year.
tried to they tried
Hmm.
to offset it with Mobe. I know that because I saw like some shifts in the numbers, and I do think that they did kind of offset a little bit, but
Not a
it
little
was
bit, a lot. They're
A little
good.
bit,
They're
a
cool.
lot.
They're good.
But
But here's the reality. Cruise
tell them to
ship
follow your peak.
visitors cruise ship visitors don't matter as much to Dolphin Cove numbers as people tend to think. But because we think that way and we see the cruise ship and you can see it and it's exciting, it makes sense. Cruise ship, tourists, Ochi, Dolphin Cove, Ochi, tourists, the two work together. But the majority of Dolphin Cove's numbers and profits have always come from non-cruise ship. The cruise ships actually aren't that lucrative for them. But even me saying that, I know how crazy that sounds to most people. But that, that's the difference between maybe three levels of a conversation. So you go deep and you get it, but you see it differently from how I see it and I go deep. And then we have a different conversation from maybe somebody who don't know at all. They just say, Dolphin Cove,
That's the
cruise
thing.
ship, bad. No, but then cruise ship back. So now the cruise ships are back, you figure things are great at Dolphin Cove, right?
no. Well, no.
No, why not?
Well, because I mean, a half of the island, which is where they had their other locations, got you know pretty significantly disrupted. So
True, I mean, I won't go too deep. Like I said, we got a short episode, but I like.
well, yeah, wait. They should say all right. Even if it's not a material, if it's not a material thing, like if the investor expectation is that hey, this is
Yeah.
you're a you're a tourist company. This is
Mhm,
a large source of tourists. Just say,
mhm.
hey, this not gonna affect anything.
But you see how that's very based on interpretation because
Mm.
it's the thing you're worrying about is what you're worrying about.
Mm.
The people there those definitely aren't seeing the same way. If
True. But
as a large part of what Randy was saying, they're not obligated to
correct you, yeah.
correct your incorrect assumption. And the truth is, in many cases, they don't know you have that assumption.
What about
True.
that company? What was the company you just showed, Randy, that said specifically Melissa did not impact the operations materially?
They didn't say that. They
They
did not
never
say
said that.
that.
You see, that's where
Well,
them
no, it's not about
dangerous.
solvency.
ROC,
It's not about
Iron
solvency.
Rock. Based on
Okay.
preliminary assessments, we do not anticipate. Based on preliminary assessments, we do
Yeah.
not anticipate any material impact on the
So
company's solvency. That is an amazing
Yeah,
sentence. It is
it
an
doesn't mean that sentence
amazing
on its
that's
own
a
sentence.
lot
means
sentence.
something.
That's a lot sentence.
It's
But
a
either way,
wonderful sentence, my brother. That's like you tell your girl, based on my preliminary feedback, I did not anticipate you necessarily finding anything relationship damaging in my
My
cell phone.
phone.
That's a sentence, boy. No, I love it. You're right. If you tell me that a lawyer wrote this specific sentence, I would not be surprised.
Mhm.
A hell of a sentence. But what about it, though? Tell me.
in the same way that they're kind of getting ahead of investor concerns or trying, I don't know why they wrote it like that because
I
it
think
doesn't rest me at ease. But
I think they wrote it because they have to write it. Some companies can dodge it. Then being an insurance company means that they're doubly regulated. So I
mhm,
think they have to make a statement on it, and they're an insurance company.
mhm.
So like Melissa is
And they
not
are
for
in the
them.
way of this problem.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
this
So
is a problem for them.
they have FSC regulation, they have BOJ, I think BOJ regulations. They have they have to say something.
And it
So
doesn't
when
mean
you're
this
yeah,
is where my money comes from. There's an impact in my customer base.
yeah. So when you have to say something, when the law says you have to say something, and the law also says that you have to tell the truth, you can't lie. Well, this is how
That's
you
how
get a
tell the
sentence
truth.
like this. I've told the truth because you cannot say the company could report numbers so bad in the fourth quarter that it it actually kills the company
Affects
and
it
then
actually
mash
affects
up.
their solvency.
Yeah,
But
and
they
then
can say
we kind of told you. We told you that at the time we never anticipated that it
preliminary.
would.
So when
Yeah,
they do a thing and it never really comes, I mean, and then we're just wrong because
ex-
it's an anticipation and it feels safe from what I saw, but feels I know so different.
yeah, man. It's a mad thing. It comes right back down to us. That's the truth. It comes right back down to us as investors because no one else is going to save us.
Mhm.
Because the companies also want you to not only do they want you to ignore or not realizing something's bad, but they
Mhm.
also want you to think that what they think is good is also good.
Mhm.
So they lean on that sort of thing all the time. So you're right. Yes, the industry I think has a role to play,
Mhm.
but I think you
But
also
the
need
industry
it
is also is as much a cog in the wheel as we are.
exactly.
They are, and in other ways, not they're not in our favor. Like they are
Some
from the perspective of just in investors, they are an investor like you. Like they like the obligation for them is on their side, just as yours for your portfolio.
yeah,
It's not for me, they're non-client or the client who is in a way where I manage my own account and do all these things. They have no obligation to get up and say, Dana, say this is also when we call the man. No.
well actually I do have an obligation, but so maybe I jump in both sides because they have an obligation to do that. But
What
how can you
obligation?
prove that I spoke to him? That he's not going to
That's
tell them that I spoke to you, and I'm not going to
mhm.
tell him that I spoke to you. So who's going
So
to? Oh,
we never
yeah,
spoke.
we never
And
spoke. Yeah,
also the truth is too, you're talking about banks. They have a relationship with companies that you don't have. Like
yo, sometimes it's
they
them
give
help
these
write
companies,
it.
they give the company loans, they give the companies advice, they manage a certain part of the company. They don't want to be in a bad position like you. Like same like you don't want big CEO to call your phone. Them don't want big CEO to call them phone and say, we're moving the loan to the next bank. Like the obligation the things they have to balance are not the things you have to balance. And they put themselves in the same way. You wanna know and me wanna know, I just can't get the answer. We're both investors here. That kind of thing. So it's why I say focus on the retail, because we are the guys who are we're the one side. We don't have that situation working for us. And as Randy says, there's no, the industry is not going to organize itself to fix that. So largely on retail to say, all right, I think what needs to start, what would happen to solve it is organization. That's its whole other problem.
When you
That's
say
a whole
organization,
other problem.
you gonna like open like a class action lawsuit or something like that. When you
Things
say
like that, yes.
I see.
Things like that, but not necessarily that. There are other
Okay.
things like, I want these questions answered,
Mhm.
and say I have some shares, and I make a call. I put it out there in the public for everybody else who has shares, and we come together and say, all right, we own this block of shares, and what's going on together. And because we own this block of shares, we have certain rights, and we will exercise them if you think that if certain things don't come together properly.
But then when you have like a Tyrone, I say you're eager to sell down in stock. You might not like that either, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's from the company perspective. But on the flip side, I mean, it's freedom of speech.
Mm-hmm.
The company
It's a
runner
political
also
correctness
has the
situation,
right.
right?
Yeah. I don't care what the political correctness, because everybody has the right to
No,
their opinion in that.
truth, I don't care. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if I feel like you're either for selling it down, I think it's okay to say that. But on the flip side, as a
But also,
investor,
it's a matter of responsibility in the sense of,
and I'm gonna
I
remember
would
that you
want,
you, you thought as an idiot for selling it.
and also too, you own your company, you don't want your CEO saying that to people. Right?
Maybe or maybe not. Maybe I do. Yeah.
True,
Me
true.
personally, I like it. It's exciting to me to see. I wish more of them said what they thought.
I
I wish more of them said what they said. What I know, some of them said
my money
offline.
JA say my money JA list and your
No,
CEO
that's
on
different.
Twitter.
No.
That's exactly what I meant.
The other way the stories
That's
are.
where I wouldn't want, because I know the public facing thing is more than just how you feel, how you say, because you'll get the problem of those other voices chiming in. Or just somebody looking at you and saying, I don't like that it's said like that. Investors don't like themselves being spoken about like that. So
True.
that's where I say there's a problem for me.
I have to be fair, because also like for
That
years
too.
I've felt bad about think about how we've heard some of the industries will talk about retail investors. And it sometimes they don't even mean to be bad. That's when you get the real truth. When they say the things that they're not thinking it's bad, they're telling you how they really feel. Think about that joke with JMB years ago, the whole non-fund when they sell for non-fundamental reasons, like
fundamental reasons, and then homeboy sell.
and things like that.
But the thing we said also, you said they don't mean to be bad. Remember, I've heard they mean to be bad very often.
Yeah.
But I need to see you a certain way.
Yeah.
It's just that this guy said, yeah, idiot for do that. A lot of these guys call it idiot.
But
They
we don't,
don't say,
you don't hear it.
they just let them say to them friend in office.
Exactly. So I actually like it. I want it to be out in the open. And I don't forget we get graphs are pretty off his point.
Well,
Oh yeah. He also had 2 points. So
yeah, I have one
heavy
next.
on the first.
Yeah, go heavy on that. I just want to hear like, why not even know how to phrase this?
Say it how you feel. That's the truth.
Yeah, I
I
want to
almost
say
feel
how
like I
much
know what
you,
you say.
yeah, but instead I try putting an aspect. What are you guys hearing, or the vibe that you guys get, like in terms of optimism from I guess the surge or the influx of monies that should be coming in for like hurricane relief. This is like optimistic for the market. When I say the market, I guess that sounds real general, but are you guys seeing where that can benefit real substantially, like over
Mm.
previous performance. A
I
good set
feel
of
like
companies.
I feel like you're still not asking what you're asking. You said the
What
vibes
are the
I get.
stocks to pick, guys? What are the good picks?
That's
What
what
are
you're
the good
asking.
picks?
That's what you're asking. All right,
What's the
yeah.
buzz? What's the buzz, guys?
I
Tell me
mean,
what's the
link that in a session for that. But what I will say generally, what we've said on here before, and
Mhm.
you don't have
You
to
spoke about
be,
recovery.
yeah, you don't take a genius today. Um, we have two hardwares listed on the market, and one of them
Mhm.
own the other one. Lumber own
One of
Atlantic
them on the other
Hardware
one, and the other one sell
to
across
every
to every
hardware
hardware
across
across
the
that.
country.
So to me, if they're going to be, that's just catching that impact.
Yeah, I think very, very clear. And yo, something that we haven't said I found funny, and I actually meant to talk about it this week, and then I saw a newspaper article that kind of made me feel bad about it. So obviously Atlantic, right? Sell to everybody, great. Other things, cement, cement will do well. The other cement company, CHL, they're already doing well and expect them to do better. Lumber, obviously, and lumber being lumber and also lumber owning Atlantic. Completely slipped me that Berger. Berger sell paint.
So it didn't slip me. I just have Berger biases. I feel like they've been very ignored, bro. And I think also the market knows that. So for me, looking at Berger, it's will they get the second wind? Will it what will it, what does it take for you to start looking at Berger nicely again?
Well, I don't know. I don't know, but you don't threw me off with Berger.
Things different into bio, don't it?
Well, since about what you mean? Are the same people on it?
Remember the Anton McCall situation happened and
It's still them
the
on it.
buyout. Yes, but I think things different since then. I think for not only I don't only mean in the company. I mean from those investors looking at Berger.
Yeah. I mean, they're one of those quiet companies that nobody too.
Seems to care about.
Yeah. I know what my own little problem with it is, but I saw this headline: Berger posts strong views with your warrants of post Melissa downturn.
Oh yeah,
Why
yeah.
would
The report.
this?
Well, I think the report was good, and that's
Uh-huh.
part of why I was like, oh yeah, Berger doing well.
Hmm.
And it's funny, like I didn't even check to see if I didn't do a proper temperature check to say, oh yo, how's Berger been doing well? I just felt surprised seeing it. Like, oh yo, Berger doing well, and then that too, I was like, oh, John, them saying Melissa though, but which is weird, as you say.
It's weird to
Because
me
like,
to hear them speak of Melissa as
I don't know,
a
like the paint,
down for them.
make a place off a paint now.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
expect them to have
but
like,
it was weird for me seeing that. Yes, but so it was jump from things are good, and then you're saying and then it's a bad thing. I was like, oh,
I don't know. It's weird. Like you are one of the companies that expect you to be well. For me, Berger is the same thing every year. From the last time when years ago when we'd have had a serious look at it, than I.
mhm.
Yeah, you don't have. It's they have the same thing that Carib Cement have. You have to guess which quarter
Yes. We
for
spoke
Carib
about
Cement
it.
is maintenance.
We spoke
For them
about
is
lead.
yeah, which quarter they're gonna do the movement of the finished goods in.
No,
Um, and yeah, I don't like to play that kind of game. I prefer Carib Cement zone, maybe because it's a little bit more predictable, but and
mhm.
there's greater payoff in my view. Berger, you move the finished goods around and there it has not been worth my time. I mean, look at that. It's over the 1 year. I don't know. Over 1 year, I
When was
don't
the
see
buyout
anything.
year? When was the buyout year? From the buy the remember we put to the market, we put to shareholder. There was a lot of excitement around the buyout for a lot of people, and then remember the thing that came out, the director's recommendation
Uh-huh.
and everything.
Wow. It's a brainwave. I don't even remember that,
I
but yeah,
think
yeah,
I
yeah.
think Don I think John Jackson was talking about the time too, of
Uh-huh.
what's going on there, and I think things like expectation and the market just never liked that again after that, and we had the finished good situation just flip flopping hard.
And that continues every year, I believe. I
Yep.
believe. Yeah. Continues every year. No, I mean, they declared a dividend earlier in the year,
Mhm.
but just to hear them speak about
Yeah,
post
man, that
Melissa as a
it slapped me because I couldn't find a way where like something damage for you. Otherwise, what?
yeah, like,
Like, so you're telling me, so, oh, it's not like, so you're telling me you guys are investing at the paint and the paint that's already on my house? Is that what you're saying? Because I feel like the paint washer need for me.
yeah,
Something
and it's not
with
just paint. They also the other chemicals and so
yeah, man, I never get it, bro. It confused me. But
confuse me too.
I'm still trying to figure out what's the line that you're gonna tell me as yeah, this wasn't good for us.
Yeah,
Because you even say like hurricane relief, some of the money going flow to that to rebuilding. So these companies will get some of that money, right?
I, I don't know, bro. Virgin's a household name just like Carib Cement. Like I know other paint companies, but
Just Burger
uh,
and Sherman Williams, if you read figure it.
yeah, it's just weird to me to hear a company that is so heavily in the
Mm-hmm.
construction and remodeling stuff space. Speak
Tell me that,
cautiously.
man. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
think you wouldn't have hands to sell everything that you have. I know all the checks I've made with hardwares, them don't have hands to sell everything. Like them have hands to sell, but just don't have nothing to sell. Everything sell off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I just really lost on the line that they were going in that one.
I don't know. So I don't know, but Garcia Purity, that's a good question that you asked. So what I mean, you can join with your idea. What do you think is something post Melissa?
Yeah, yeah, the exact same ones you guys mentioned. The only thing is that the ones they mentioned is RDC substantial appreciation, right? So you like, I don't know if it's like, oh, early money already gone into it. That's just my concern.
You think that the rise is done? Or it depends on what you're banking on. I
Yeah,
mean,
I mean, because I think I was looking at through my money, JA, I was looking at Atlantic Hardware, I
It was
think,
an ad.
and I see a substantial rise, and then it kind of starts stuttering after that.
well,
Immediately post Melissa.
So what do
well,
you think about that?
yeah. What do you think
So
about that?
to me, what do you think about that?
I think it's priced in.
Okay, so you
Well,
think that
I don't think anything. I'm concerned it's priced in. I don't make up my
Hmm.
mind yet. Well, that's my
I would
concern.
say get to that point as soon as possible. That's a real point where you think something. It's either the size pricing for real, or you actually do your checks and say, all right, what do I actually expect from this, and what that will actually look like on the share price. Because it can be
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
or
no,
it
I
can be
could be,
wrong.
but I
You have to
don't. I
work it
don't
out.
actually run the numbers like that. No, I don't do that. I should, but I haven't.
from me, do I think it's priced in? Well, it depends on your timeline. Or what kind of
Mhm.
timeline you thinking? You thinking like over the next year?
Yeah, yeah, like so, like
I
couple
It
mean,
might
months.
just be, we might not.
yeah, maybe, may not, but I mean, none of them have. Atlantic has not reported the post Melissa pull yet.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I took strong note of the quarter right before it being
I would
really
say
good.
it would be like a function of how fast they can actually do turnover, right? Like how quickly they can get in supplies to actually sell it.
well, it's
Um,
funny you mentioned that. The same guys who own it just bought a port. They just
is it?
bought CHL. So, or start the process of buying the rest of it. But they bought CHL. In my view, who knows?
Hmm. And the guy, remember, the Kingston Wharves guys are also like,
Yeah, that's what I mean. Oh, same WhatsApp group. Friend of, yeah.
you say just, I'm like, they just bought a port, but they also,
Oh yeah,
they
that's
have,
the owner
it's
port.
like, it's like we own the ports.
True, true, true. Yeah, they already own Kingston Wharves and they bought a good chunk of CHL.
Hmm.
And the other guy, I mean, they own both ports. I have to say that because the other people own it to the Hearts, right? And the Hearts and Frizz sold half to him, and the Hearts are in, and the Hearts already in the separate mix. They're in that universe. A
So that's
done
a
deal,
love
it's
to
a
go
matter of
around.
time. Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, realistically, yes, it's a matter of how quickly it can get turnover, but that's every business. It's just
Mm,
that the demand side is so strong that
yeah,
as quickly as you can get it will be sold, and they can probably get
Mhm.
pre-sales, which you can probably be collecting money before you
I
do
remember,
it,
this is also
lowering your
this
receivables.
what we see now is a local situation. Meaning, it's not like Melissa hit the guys that they're importing from, right?
Right.
So it's not like to me, it's not as if they can't get things into the country. It's not COVID where the world get hit. It's all locally certain things are going on. So as Randy said, the demand side has spiked. There are a lot of demand here. To increase the supply, to me, isn't as strong a challenge as you're probably thinking.
All right. Fair. I don't know if that's I don't know. I'm just throwing these things out there. But you
No, me
guys
neither. But I'm saying what I think.
you guys make a good
I
point.
don't think there's a supply challenge on their side. I think we have a lot of demand, and what we have in supply or regular supply is taxed. We need so we need some more. We need to sell some more. I not really see. I don't see that as a strong challenge for them.
Yo, you said that you said tax, not in the way you meant it, but
Mm-hmm.
these guys have Melissa happen like in their second quarter of being tax free.
They're being listed. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So no tax on those.
they can service them. They can service all of the Melissa demand that they post Melissa demand that they can tax free.
Tax free.
Woo.
Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, if you think that we own shares in Atlantic, you're right. I do, but I don't. Even that never just clicked to me that yeah, the whole post Melissa. Wow, wow. Think I didn't know that would even with lumber then. Lumber is at year 5, right, or year 7?
Mm-hmm.
If I'm lumber, there's certain business that it behooves me to put that through Atlantic instead of taking it myself. Because them tax rate fresh, them have the 100%. We don't have the 100%. Yeah, listed 2019, the incorporated 2019, and I think the list are around then. So yeah, I think they're off. They're under 5 years now, I believe. They being lumber. Wow, I never thought of that.
And also,
could.
like it's Atlantis
Yeah,
last
they are.
report.
Say that again?
It's Atlantis last. It's not a report. This little quarter alone. This is it.
Yeah, I think it's the best quarter ever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, them just start. To me, them just starting.
In half.
Yeah, 231%
half,
increase in profit.
No. When people say things, the way I again, people, it's the I pay, Mr. Pay alone. This is
them lists just stay the debt.
We have a stronger profit before tax line and no tax because the debt pay down. So we have this figure that's going straight to just profit is stronger. And if it was there before I wasn't listed, it'd be more tax paid. But we're now listed, so free and clear. No tax on that. There's no tax on that extra money that will come into the bottom line.
They also don't have anything under the treasury shares line anymore. That's
I was about to say that. Well, I wasn't about to say it. I'll get type it to you because it's something
interesting.
Yes, sir.
Huh. Okay.
I was about to screenshot it. I was checking P's and Q's. So I thought finances. Like, we must make sure again. And I saw the treasury shares.
I wonder where that went.
And money went out to it. Eh?
But yeah, like you're saying tonight, that's the knock-on effect of them just a list to pay debt. Yeah, so the company is stronger.
Imagine all your debts are cleared. So now you're getting more, more money, but that's more tax. But it's a beautiful thing where you don't pay taxes.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, so that's us. More money, less taxes.
If you get boost in the retained earnings, back up after you knock $500 million in prior year adjustments, you're back up to 1.2 billion in your retained earnings, and you have stated clearly that you intend to pay dividends. Yeah, that's they have stated that that's their intent. Sean, to me, it's clear. But I like Atlantic before Melissa. I really like it post Melissa. Is it priced in like you say? It's up to you. Up to you to decide if it's priced in for you. Um,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but
That's the
you,
market, you know. It's
yeah,
everybody. It's. I think it's priced in. If everybody agree with you, then it's priced in.
yeah, yeah. But I don't know. I don't know. Everybody agrees because it's still trending up.
Yeah,
Oh,
I don't know. I mean,
yeah.
the only thing
That,
everybody
that,
can do
that,
right now is
this
guess how high it gonna go, right? So I mean, I
a
don't think
thing.
it's fully there.
This thing you see on the market, I mean, it spike, drop,
Hmm.
and in a slow creep. That is not uncommon.
Okay.
I'm not saying where it will go or whatever, but I'm saying there are also other cases where you can look at some big event happening and there's a strong reaction immediately and drop back or drop to somewhere and then it goes somewhere after that. It goes up after that, but it's not very quick.
Yeah.
One of
So
the
my,
hardest things is to determine am I buying in that big jump or am I buying that big jump? How far it going to fall? Because I can buy it jump and I decide it's going to fall. I have to decide where along this fall is my time to is a good time to buy.
yeah.
Or you see it jumping, you ever say, boy, it makes sense to buy now because the reality is it might go further. Yeah. So
All right.
Well,
That
yeah.
was the question. You guys
Well,
kind of reinforce where I was thinking and clarify some of the areas I was coding on. So that was it.
all right.
but
Well, glad to hear
my
that.
clarity, the clarity is look and see, look and make and look at the thing for real and make a decision on what you actually think is going to happen after you take a look,
Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
more
your research. But
yeah, obviously.
and yeah, man.
I
So
feel more research. But all right,
I think
thanks
you're
guys.
looking in a good direction, yeah, man.
Yeah, man,
All right,
big up.
sweet.
You're
Yeah, big up,
welcome.
boss. Thanks for calling in.
Yeah, and I tell you, I hope you ask more questions at AGMs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah, do
yeah.
that, please. You ask more questions at AGMs. We need more of that sense in the space. 23% up on IPO though.
Yes, sir.
For the people
Finally, yeah.
who took the bet on IPO,
Or
if
the
they care
great bet
about
app.
that. Yeah, well, it's even nicer for us who took the bet after. Which what the chances of equity acting like this? I think almost, I won't say almost 100%, but I guess we'll see. No, exactly like this, meaning this time, I don't know. I don't know the time on it, but I could see equity doing this. And I know what deputies Melissa. I know what I think deputies Melissa will be. Um, Still open though. Surprised? Not surprised? How you feel about that?
Okay.
As an IPO, it's still open.
Who that?
Deputy.
Oh, deputy. Oh no,
Yeah,
actually not surprised.
not surprised.
Mm.
All right, as somebody jump
You surprised?
on. No, 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 no. But I'm surprised that I'm surprised at the bonds, not the equity bonds. I'm surprised at some of the bonds we own. I think the MJE bond is still open. Could be wrong, but I think the
Mm.
MJE bond is still
Okay,
open,
yeah.
and I think the dollar bonds are still open. Not as surprised at
Mm-hmm.
dollar being open still, but I don't know. Depends on who knows. Who knows? That's surprise. Some parts of the bonds we open are surprising to me. Anyway, Hall of Fame. See you.
The great Hall of Fame. What's up?
Yeah, man. Get to be our last caller. What?
Uh, Good night.
Night,
Good
night.
I
night,
just
boss.
want to make a good a comment, a
Mhm.
comment. Based off of the whole Atlantic thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think they did an article back in. The Gleaner did an article back in August
Mhm.
22, obviously before 2025. Sorry, August 22, 2025.
Mhm.
Um,
Good date.
and I think the Sabans, I think he's some manager there.
Is
Um,
Mm-hmm.
Dean Elbranch is the CEO.
okay, yeah. So he was making some statement about how they plan to, generate more revenue. And one of the main things he was they were considering was, the hotel sector. So given the damage, caused by a hurricane to some of the something there, may I say that can probably, help them in a way where there is a need now, just for them try to, finish the deal based
Mm.
off of which can, make the revenue more good or better.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
good revenue is a definite one. I definitely love. I don't know how much you pay attention to revenue for the buying, but let's see that you said in August 2022,
Yeah. The title of the article, Atlantic Hardware going after new market segment with targeted strategy.
Well, let's see. I know Jay have them compiling us. So August, so the number, and then there's the article. And it spoke to the hotels. You're right. It would be a boom for them. It started in August and then September, October. But then maybe 2 months after. 2 months after, they have. This always happens to you. 2 months after, you have a nice, not nice, but a nice opportunity for the company. I don't know. Have a big break.
Yeah.
Targeted approach to revenue generation, expanded sales force, target contractors and developers, particularly in the hotel sector. We were not considering that sector at all. Okay. Special projects dealing with hotel developers. Hey, no, you could not have asked for a better start for a segment than that, where the demand is now massive. I mean, I like your point there. What else you think around it, or that was your point around Atlantic?
Yeah, man, that was just a main point around Atlantic. Well, I may have a, another, I just something I think about around Fesco, but it go against what we learned in a in a grower still. But the thought still stuck in my head.
I doubt some go against bro. Let me hear. In mind. Let me hear.
I mean, them have like one of them. I think them post some results the other day, and me I'm a Gleaner person, so me I read the Gleaner. There was some good results, you see. So me I expect, which me know say, everybody know how move stock price already, people. But
You
me I
might
said
be
to myself,
surprised.
with one of the best quarter, like I don't. It's a quarterly report. I might be wrong if it's not a quarterly report, but me I
Every
say
year
after.
from them is a quarterly report. What do you mean? It reports on quarter. But what were you expecting? They put out the second quarter report a couple weeks ago. Yeah.
And them still say I probably one of the best quarter.
Mm-hmm.
So what me I expect already, but with the
No, I don't know
season,
what you're expecting. You have to say it. I have to say it.
yeah, I expect the stock price to fly. But you see,
Yeah.
well, that too what I expected, but you see,
Well,
in a fly matter of fact, the time when me did check it, cause me check it now the day, was actually down at the time.
on at the time.
Yeah.
Since they released that result, the share price has fallen by 14%. It says the best quarter ever.
Well, I think
I believe it was. I believe they've said that.
someone some manager or something it's
CEO,
not
the
the Gleaner.
CEO said that. Yeah,
Yeah.
best quarter ever. I think it's the first quarter that they've ever exceeded $500 million in profit.
Yes,
No, no. Sorry, I'm wrong. Well, maybe that's no. I don't think it'll be the shareholders. Let's see. But I remember seeing that little excerpt also. Somebody saying, yeah, it's best quarter and half year to date. Gross profit of $500 million. That's right. And record net profit of 200 million, 205.8 million. And so you're right that it solidifies what I talk about all the time, that the reality of how stock prices work versus how people talk about them. So it's not like it really hurting you that you're going through the reality of it now.
Oh, I mean, and I really hurt to the. It's just
It's
like
unhurt, you bought
yeah.
it.
All right, it's like you have say you have you have an idea in your head so
Uh,
long, and even when you're in between the right and the idea we have in your head. So the
mhm.
concept is, people make
Yeah.
something move, not result. But you have that there and say, after such a good result with even a better upside to come,
Mm-hmm.
get people demand.
Don't mean nothing. Good results,
Yeah,
share price fall. Bad results, share price fall further. So,
yeah.
people say, oh, that makes sense. Okay, I mean, no, it's not true. It's not true. There are like, this speaks for itself. Best results ever. Share price down 15%, 14.77%. Um, because of all the other things at times. But hey, it's a good lesson to learn. What I take from it also is don't feel bad about having the idea. Just feel good that you've seen more of the reality of the market, because there are things there that can show you how share prices rise. The share prices rise all the time. And you mentioned grow, stuff with our grow, you know how good that is for us. You know how good the market is. Still, as you heard Danai said earlier, how surprising it is to hear the market spoken about as if it's bad. Like the market this year has been amazing, but that might just be our little view in the little profit bubble. Oh, yeah, Festo. Damn. You see, you buy something, eh?
I'm muted for some reason. Um, Would I buy some? Depend on what we're talking about. But depend how. But I think, as I say, all the bubble. I think a large part of that is, as the great Trinidadian herself said, is a job. And I don't mean it's hard or at all. But there's a certain level of care and work you have to put into it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when people say that, it's a lot to do with the ease. I can just buy an IPO and get 200% on my 10 grand,
And
and that's
just
all. Because and largely because that's all I did in the market. The market was good. We said it many times. We've said it for years. We're not the IPO guys. It's all right. What's going on in the market? An IPO is an IPO is just another decision on the market. I'm going to buy this stock, this stock, this stock. An IPO is out today. Am I buying it or not? That's really it. You're weighing every decision on the market for yourself. If you're there, then sure. But wait, but there's a part of that that comes with it's not serious. It's not as easy as, oh, these guys told me that there's this thing out. It tastes great, and I know the last five of them they get 200% at least. So
mm,
it's easy. I can do this. This is me on the market. This is what people always want to talk about. I always wanted to talk about IPOs. Remember that? That was the conversation people really wanted to have every single time, even though IPO is out. When is the next IPO? Waiting for the next IPO, waiting to release because it's
the idea.
that was investing for them. I
Yeah.
can come to it and do this. And as much as we used to say, boy, the 10 grand in the IPO isn't the real market. There's a lot more to it. There's a lot more you can do. There's a lot more money you can make in. you're really, I think of that is a big deal when you look at more than just IPOs. Like, I mean, IPOs, yeah, but then look on the big events, the stock splits, that kind of thing. It's the we need more people want more hype things. The more things they can just easily jump onto and
Yeah.
then at that point then market is fine.
People want something simple. They
Yeah.
don't want the reality of having to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
And if I have to figure it out, and I want the people want cash pot. That's what they want.
Mm-hmm.
They want cash pot. They don't want work. They want cash pot.
Mm-hmm.
But the truth is, only cash pot is cash pot, and not even cash pot is cash pot, right?
Mm-hmm.
People want cash pot, not SVL. Yeah, that's true. So the reality is the wealth is in SVL, not cash pot. But yeah, it's and it doesn't change. It doesn't change. That's not to say that the cash pot events don't come along and don't happen. They happen and they're great, but
But they're not everything, and
they're
they're
not
not even most
everything.
of the money. They're not even most of the good.
Exactly, not even most of the money. You can get the same, if not better, sort of thing from actually
The
knowing how
regular
this thing works. Yeah, man.
figuring out, find a great play and go with it.
Yeah,
More
man.
money in there than the IPO play.
Yeah, man.
More returns than out of the IPO plays.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so
Look at the same Atlantic. We'll come back to Atlantic, the IPO for this year. Number one stock on the market now is not number one stock on the market. I don't think it's number two or number three, but it is up there, but it's not the only one, and it's on the IPO so far this year. All right. That shows you that there's greater gains to be made than just outside of the IPO, than just in the IPOs. There's loads of gains outside of the IPOs. And the more you understand it, it's the more gain there is to be made.
There's more gains in Atlantic
Mm-hmm.
buying after the IPO than the IPO.
Yeah.
Buying at the point where you can get more units than
Yep.
in the IPO. That's a big deal. Some people know.
Yep.
That's what people just need to look at.
Yep.
But sensationalism runs out of these things.
Yep. And there is there is it is what it is. Yeah,
That's so yeah. And which is why if the market is down, meaning the index is down for a year, but you had a lot of IPOs, there's a reason you never hear that conversation. But then no, the IPO thing kind of slow up and the index down, then suddenly blame the index for whatever. But you're having a different talk when the thing that you were that you're blaming was the case, but the thing you were doing had nothing to do with it and was returned for you a certain way. It's when I said somebody this week, the emotions in the market that you all get the warnings about, they are not necessarily what everybody tells you they are. It's not like people say, oh, don't invest with emotions. Like, that line everybody likes to say that nobody actually follows. the emotions they're actually working with in the market, it's not I find that it's not necessarily what I find that conversation as. It's a lot more than those things. And I think that what we're talking about now ties into that very well, because the market is bad when you carry this easy thing and whatever. Like, it is not really strongly tied to reality, in my opinion. Market's always been there. There have been down years. Every market. But in every market, there's somewhat exactly. But every market, there's opportunity, even in the down times.
Yeah, you need to, just like a hurricane. It's rough, but you need it sometimes, and in order to make the post even better. So, yeah, I think that's a good point. I mean, the two people join and ask the two strong questions. I hope you also, all of them, I hope you also have some questions at AGMs. Yeah, and funny enough, the one question that I would want us to ask at most AGMs is about the share price. Like, it's not their responsibility. 90% of the time, it's not their responsibility. 99% of the time, it's not their responsibility. So now it's about the share price. But there are a whole lot of other things out there. And sometimes, just like we said last week, I'll say it again this week. the opportunity don't always look like opportunity in the moment. It oftentimes look like disappointment or failure or whatever. But yeah, the opportunity don't always look like opportunity. So consider that. Or is it?
Yeah, that's true. I have
Consider
one last point to make though before the close.
Got true?
And it's still connected back to the whole Prescott thing. But we can look for Kintaya. Kintaya also have good results. But what funny, and I guess that's why I say, in my opinion, them are a mirror of each other with just one difference. Events that influence investors. Back to I will go back to a growth session we do. And me think the M&A, I think Tyrone probably the got the one grow one time. Cause he knows that probably I right time for probably drop the news but
In go grow by proxy. You know, the style you get a girl do things, sit up there and I should do it. And you keep the camera off.
yeah, we then look bad, you know.
But don't be fooled. Tyrone is no slouch. You're not foolish. Tyrone know this thing.
Man,
Yeah.
not that.
And
No.
also
I know
he has learned. I can use that again, right?
Good
He
word
has
again,
learned.
yeah, good word again.
He has learned the hard way what the reality of the market is. I remember joking with him sometime before. I said, "Oh, just get them real estate then. I'm like real estate, get them real estate. All right? So you can get them real estate, nobody cares. So that's not the reality of it. I think he's learned a lot about the reality of the market and the edges of the sense behind the market. I don't know how to, I know how to say it otherwise, I don't want to say it otherwise. So people don't like that. But the thing that Dana and I were talking about at the start, that works extremely powerfully. And I think if Tyrone gets around to that, I think he's working his way around to that eventually, he'll be very, very powerful. As it is now, it's still nice what he's doing. I like what he's doing, and I look forward to the launch of the micro market because what he's doing, I think, feeds wonderfully into that. Yeah, he's setting himself up now for something that would be great if and when that micro market is actually done. And I expect it to be done. I don't think the government would lie to us, right? I don't think the JC can do what they're doing. But yeah, I think he has learned little things, what excites people. And timing, I know he knows timing in many ways. I've seen the evidence side. And who knows? The thing is, timing and all that stuff looks great in the moment, but it's not sustained. You can't sustain the flash in the pan. And who knows, maybe you'll figure out the formula for turning the flash into pan into a real fire. So yeah.
Well, me not feel long enough to figure it out, that
That is up to you. That's a bit of the market.
yeah, I guess.
Get sustain, you're selling, and somebody buying from it, don't it?
Now, figure it
Keep you, but somebody deflate it. That's how it is. But
Yeah.
the thing about it though, like,
And don't worry, I'm sure he's coming with a whole heap of shares to give it. You know there's more coming.
and the truth is, in that the new business of Kintyre, that we see now, like this happens at early stage for all of it. Our profits are paper, and financing brings in the cash. The thing we want more than anything as any shareholder is, all right, the financing does something for us as for everything below us to a point where then they can start bringing the money in.
Yeah.
So that's what's business. So fingers crossed it work out and everything good. Because as I say, that's the true sustainable path. Where all right, cool. We buy this company with some debt on it, cash come in, strong retained earnings, and so the cash flow has a nice endpoint. But when this thing actually works out properly as we want it to, the business is doing well, then revenue is in.
Yeah.
Debt's paid down, profit flowing.
And it's a survive until they get to that point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He needs a win. the company needs an actual win, though. That's what I would think.
Yes,
It
sir.
needs a win.
Yep.
Needs a real win.
We need
Say that again, Danai?
I said need $1, but I didn't say it, so it's all good.
Yeah, but it needs an actual real win. That undisputed, undeniable win.
Mhm.
And Visual Vibe was to be that. I don't know if culture is gonna be that. I don't see it yet, but it's not for me to say. And especially not for me to say because, as I said, I forgot to cancel my order, so I sold that profit. Sorry. Um, well, I'll probably be back in, but he needs. I think he needs a win. All of those. That's what all those companies need. The type of company they need wins. Yeah, the companies that don't have those, the companies that are like that in that type that don't have hardcore cash generating wins, they don't survive.
Yep.
Yeah, you can buy a company. You can management determines that it's this valuation. Management determines this much um, negative goodwill. You can do all of those things all you want. Nobody will really respect it too much. But
Money start flow.
when you make the money flow for list one. Same thing for equity. The first time one of those sub companies list, which I suspect is already in train with VM and company, probably list Royal or one of them. But once you list one of those and you've monetized one of those investments into actual cash, then you get going. I gather it's like real estate. The first one is the hardest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we've seen it. We've seen it. MJE was like that, right? MJE, Mayberry, MJE I think MJE is quite the same because they didn't do any
But
early stage, but they have
different kind of
wins.
thing, but
Different
in a
kind
lot
of
of ways.
wins. Yeah. Monetize, so getting early, monetize, and have something that is monetizable. So yeah, maybe not quite the same because it's not VC, but
Yeah, but they have they have a large rock to build things around.
yeah. And then them being brokers makes it linked to brokers makes it even better.
Yes, sir.
That's maybe nice that we can do something on. But big up all of them. Thank you for
So,
the
big up. Good talk. Good conversation.
talk. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man, me have another point, but me save it for next time.
Yeah, that might be good. Yeah, that might be good. All right. Then I have anything you want to close off with?
Nothing strong into mind. So big up people.
That's
Thanks for
good.
calling in.
Yeah, man. Thank you as
Yeah,
always.
actually, as short and sweet, I actually really like this one. So
Me too. Yeah.
yeah, I like the conversations we had tonight. So big up. Thanks for calling in. Thanks for joining us. Whoever I'll never call in. Hope you call in next time. So see you again next week. And
Yep.
all the best. Enjoy the weekend.
Big up. And thanks everybody. And thank you, Danai, for doing this with me. And yeah, it's been another brick talk. So night, everybody.